My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Hearthstone. They've included a single player mode and you know me, I'm mad for that single player nonsense.
What is this I am smelling? Leather, steel, torches, adventurers! Adventurers!
Calm down your pants, Togwoggle. I can't wait to get to you. So the Dungeon Run is a single player game mode where you build a deck gradually over the course of 8 fights and you lose once you're out. So it's kind of a mix between an adventure and an arena run, a little bit. I am super hyped for it. As soon as they announced it, I was really super on board. I've watched the Day 9 stream of it, so the Day 9 release stream with Ben Brode, which was ridiculous fun. If you haven't seen that, I highly suggest it. It was amazing. And now, slightly sight unseen, I'm going in myself. Adventurers wanted, I'm in. Challenge is 1 of 8.
Monsters you are finding in Kobold Empire. Every fight be making you stronger. Or dead.
Okay, Togwoggle.
Who is daring to come for Kobold treasures? Sword slinger? Sparkle flinger?
So I think I'm just gonna go across and then down and then across, right? Just so that I can keep track of who I've done. Because I'm gonna want to complete it with every hero in a lot of different archetypes. So I may as well just cycle across them naturally. So let's start with Garrosh. Waxing Whiskers. Tailor your deck around the treasures you find to maximize their impact. The first fight is just a giant rat that has a hero power, 2 mana, summon 2 1/1s. Rats, beasts, no less. I guess that means Cruel Taskmaster is going to be pretty good. Having Brawl is actually going to be pretty good in this deck as well. Ooh, Fiery Warwick and Dread Corsair. Okay. I wonder, each time you start as a class, do you start with the same deck as that class? Because this allows me to go kind of like weapony, kind of piratey, kind of rushy, kind of enragey. Like, it's got a broad base of things that I can do here. I wonder if that's specifically designed. Yeah, that's, again, another enrage. This is enrage, but it's also control. This is rush. This is aggression. This is weapon. This is pirate. This is weapon. Like, there's a lot of intersection here. Obviously, it's Cruel Taskmaster, though. The first fight is a joke. It's a walkover. You just hit the opponent in the face for 10 damage, and then you win. So I'm gonna Fiery War Axe, and then next turn, I'm going to Heroic Strike, and then kill the opponent. Oh, feeling like a pirate warrior. What's this? Fiery War Axe with a Heroic Strike to kill an enemy? Ooh. What if I do? Oh, they're trying to rush me down too. I mean, I like the idea, but sadly it's going to be significantly less effective. Goodbye. I think the volume's just a tad loud on my side. Let me knock that down. Hey, begin a dungeon run. I have picked up a pack. Don't mind if I do. I actually got really, really lucky with the packs that I already opened. I saved up about 1,500 gold since I knew that the season was ending, and got a golden Alaneth or Analeth or whichever it is, the legendary mage weapon. I got, just for opening the game, a Kingsbane, so that's the legendary rogue weapon. I got the crumbs. What's his name again? 9 mana Mare Oakenheart, I think it is. Summon, recruit, rather, a 1 attack, 2 attack, and 3 attack minion. And I got 1 more. Or 2 more. I got a lot of legendaries. It was stupid. It was not okay.
Oh, big treasure. You is picking one. Only one. Make good picking.
Oh. Alright. I start with an extra mana crystal. These are just passive treasures. They apply to you over the course of all of your next battles. So I can double my starting health, which will double not my starting health right now and just give me 20 more, but it will double my starting health every single time I start a fight, right? These apply when you start a new round, which means since my health increases over the course of the dungeon, this will scale with me, the Potion of Vitality. Totem of the Dead, I don't have any Death Rattles, and I don't think I'm likely to pick them up in this kind of a deck. I don't think Death Rattle Warrior is really that much of a thing. No, N'Zoth Warrior is a thing, Ryan. It's a huge thing. In fact, like, it was, like, meta-breaking kind of recently. That said, extra mana crystal?
Cards you are picking now. Cards for being in your dungeon deck.
So, it's important to note that the cards from Wild do exist here. So as you can see, Twilight Guardian, it was out a while ago. It's still available. Nefarian obviously is available. It was kicked out a while ago as well. I have what, 2 Taunt minions? 3 Taunt minions total? Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to trigger Fireplume's Heart is the problem. Bloodhoof Brave, Defender, Dread Corsair, Hide Guns. That's 3. Frothing Berserker, Crush, and Grommash Hellscream. I mean, Crush is 3 mana, destroy a minion. I don't know if it's unfair enough to really play. I kind of want to go Dragonheart. I know I don't yet have any dragons in this build, but the reason I want to go Dragonheart is the same reason I was just mentioning that wild cards exist in this format. And that's because there's the... can't remember its name for the life of me. 2 mana, 2/3. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 and charge. And I think that would be really powerful for taking over the early game. It's also worth noting that since I'm going to start with an extra mana crystal, I'm going to be able to get to my dragons a lot faster than I might otherwise. That said, Draconid Crusher is going to be a lot worse, considering a lot of our opponents are going, oh no, but our early opponents will have like 15 health maximum, right? But the later opponents will have like 50, at which point Draconid Crusher kind of blows. Damn it! Stop making me make actual difficult decisions. I think it might be Fireplume's Heart and try and go down a Taunt Warrior line. I'm gonna regret this.
One dungeon run is to be fighting 8 monsters, 1 for each finger.
Yeah, no, he's right. 8 fingers. What up, Graves? Since I don't have 7 Taunt minions, there's no reason to keep Fireplume Heart in my opening hand. I should have checked out this guy's hero power before I leapt in here. Ugh, not a great opening hand. Come on. Ah, it's a lot better now. This is Light's Will. Restore 2 health to all minions.
Monsters be getting stronger.
I actually don't benefit in any way from playing that. I should have armored up instead. I'm gonna play the hired gun here, because... Hey! Dodged it! Yes! That's what I'm talking about! Alright, if we can just slam it... I tried. Alright. Kill that. Yeah, feel free to restore mana to minions. Don't worry if you do. Don't worry at all. 1 off lethal. Yeah, that's not gonna help. May as well just develop a full board and go all face. That was bad. Thankfully, it wasn't enough. Boom. Bye-bye, Graves. So, it looks like the first 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 fights kind of seem like they're a walkover. This is just from watching Day 9's 2 attempts.
Be winning more fights, be taking more loots is Kobold way.
Patches the Pirate would be a lot better if you had more than just Dread Corsair. Like, if you actually started out with a 1 mana Pirate, like, oh my god, if you had the Rusty Hook man. Oh god, what's his name? 1 mana, 1/1 gives you a 1/3 weapon equipped. Can't remember for the life of me. But if you started out with that, that would be amazing. The thing is, charge decks, I have to imagine, get a lot less powerful as your opponents start having more HP, which is why I don't want to take something that is about dealing instantaneous damage. I want something that can go towards control. The problem is Cornered Sentry is fucking lame. I don't want it. But it's still probably better than Straying. Also, Sludge Belcher is incredible. Frostfur, 2 mana, freeze a minion. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, our deck is not about out-aggressing our opponents. We have aggressive cards in our deck, but if this was a real deck builder, quote-unquote real deck builder, I would trash all of my enrage cards and things like that and just have Taunt. I still have 5? Yeah, 5 different cards in my deck that have Taunt. So Fireplume's Heart is still a bad card. This could be worse. This could be worse. Especially if we start out with Amani Berserker and then go into Cornered Sentry. Reason being, then we can enrage the Amani Berserker off of one of the raptors that we've summoned. I don't need to give my opponent minions. Because I'm pretty sure next turn, if I did that, they would have just frozen my newly buffed Amani. Well, now I can enrage 2 characters off of it. Yeah, sure, take out one of my minions. Do I look like I give a Nope. Nary a single fuck. So this has to be frozen next turn, which gives them only 2 mana left to play with. Which means that I've got 5 and... got 7 on board. 7 plus 4 is 11. Alright. Play it still slow. Doesn't matter. Not unless you do it again. Oh, never mind. Okay, so they freeze higher attack minions over minions with similar attack values and Wind Fury. That's good to know. Things like this that allow you to exploit the AI are really handy to know. In some of the heroic, they used to call them. Back in the days of adventures. In some of the heroic encounters, there were AI misplays, basically, that you could just exploit the shit out of. What is this? Whenever you cast a spell, summon a minion with the same cost. Because it'll die to my Brawl, and that's my highest cost spell. Bag of Stuffing, draw cards until your hand is full. That seems like a really good way to fatigue myself, because my deck is 17 cards. Amulet of Domination, take control of an enemy minion, add it to your dungeon deck. Now, the reason I really want to try with Amulet of Domination is because it allows me to build my deck, but also it is a 2 mana mind control. So it's a ridiculous tempo swing, but also it's going to allow me to decide the build that I'm going with. Recruiter. Master Oakenheart. It's not Mayor Oakenheart, it's Master Oakenheart. Well, crumbs. Do I have a 1, 2, and a 3? I do have a 1. I do have a 2. Do I have any other 2s? Yeah, I've got a 2 that I can avoid a negative battle cry of. I've got some 3s as well. This will always summon, 3 different things. If it gets the Sludge Belcher, it's incredible. If it doesn't... Thanks. This just isn't that good. I think the only reason I'm going to take Reinforcer here, and I don't want to, but the only reason I'm going to take Reinforcer is because I do have 3 weapons, courtesy of the 2 King's Defenders we picked up from the previous Taunt packs. And Emperor Thaurissan is got like a soft kind of synergy with Taunt. By which I mean he hides behind the Taunt and makes all of your cards playable. Waxmaster Sturmy creates a 1/1 copy of a minion for 1 mana. And it's a minion, not specifically a friendly minion, which means that if I had something with Charge or Taunt, I have to worry about that. And I do have things with Taunt. Yeah, I definitely still don't have the ability to do anything with Blood Hoof.
Such pretty wax pretties.
This guy is probably going to summon a lot of things that have Death Rattle. So I guess at any point, if I look at a character on his field and go, fuck, then I should probably remove it. Suffer the Death Rattle instantaneously rather than letting him get a copy.
Nice little apples on.
1, 2, 3. I want to play King's Defender so that I have the ability to drop the Dread Corsair next turn. Now that my opponent has 30 health and I really don't have rush cards in my deck, it's less about rushing for them and more about just controlling the board. So I'm not super likely to be using King's Defender. Damn you. Not super likely to use King's Defender for swiping to the face. That has to die right now. Otherwise, it becomes a 1-1 that summons 2 1-1s, right? By the same token, that will allow me to enrage a couple of my characters. Okay. It's unfortunate that I have a Sludge Belcher. Yeah, exactly. Still misses the correct target of the Worgen. You with that. I'll hit the face here just in case I'm the world's least lucky man. Yeah. That's something I should have considered. Since I have low-cost cards in this deck, I don't really ever get to use the Emperor Thaurissan for reasonable return. So I don't really play slow enough. That said, the other packs in that offering sucked. Taunt. It's got to be the Taunt. It's 2 more Taunt minions. Geosculptor, yep. I don't really... Okay, I don't have high mana minions, so Woe Cleave is bad and Yasharaj is bad. And Geosculptor Yip. That's another one of the legendaries I opened. Geosculptor Yip actually was in my first pack. I don't really have armor gain either. And Grimy Gadgeteer is good in this deck, and so is Grime Street Pawnbroker, but not as good as actually being able to complete my quest. So now, let's have a look at our amount of Taunt minions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still are 1 short. Forgot, rather, to check his hero power. We are still entirely 1 minion short. Okay. Give me the Amani, drop everything else. That Stomp is probably just like a 1 damage to all minions, if I had to guess, just from the idea of it being a Stomp. Hey, 1 damage to all enemy minions. Who could have guessed such a thing? So an Enraged deck does really well against that. Wonder if I have one of those. Part of the reason I also really want the Amulet of Domination is because I'm expecting some of my opponents to play literally unfair minions. This guy doesn't really have a board clear. Yeah, I'm expecting my opponents to have literally unfair minions that they play. Same as all solo adventures before. May as well play that. Come on, Stomp. Stomp my board of 4 Enraged minions. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Stomp 1 more goddamn time. No? Oh. Alright. Considering I still have 3 King's Defenders in my deck at this point, I actually will swing face. Wow, why did you do that? I think you just killed yourself. I'm pretty sure you may have just committed suicide. Yeah, it looks like it. Well played. Alright, that's 3 or 4? 4? I think 4. Graves, Sturmy, the giant rat, and then that minion. Cool. Okay, so your minions have permanent stealth. Sucks because we're a taunt deck, so it's just ignore all of my taunt. Justicar's Ring is... I mean, it'd be really good if I was an armor build deck or something like that, right? Your hero power is upgraded and costs 1, so 1 mana gain 4 armor. Tank up. But it definitely has to be Crystal Gem. Taunt, 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 taunt. Ooh, Primordial Drakes. They're both taunts as well. Sludge Belcher is really good, though. And the Primordial Drakes are super expensive. Whereas I seem to just want to drop a ridiculous amount of taunts super early so I can get my Fire Plume. Guess what? Now I can get my Fire Plume. No, it's still kind of unlikely because I need to draw all save for one of my taunt minions and play them, which is not going to happen, right? Good mook. What are you? It's a totem of some kind.
Victory or death! Kneel before Troll!
Give me taunt. Ugh. I'm gonna have 2 mana crystals. Don't mind if I do. Alright, what's this? What's this? What's this? Whenever your opponent casts a spell, draw a card. It costs 1. I think I can get away without ever casting a spell. I'm gonna use Brass Knuckles just for the straight up buffs. Because buffing a minion that has Enrage is ridiculous. Anything but Warbot. Beautiful. I'm pleased about that. Give your opponent 2 coins. Not particularly. Okay, I'll play the Warbot. I'll attack, then I'll drop the Sludge Belcher. The Sludge Belcher will be able to defend me and survive. You're trying to trick me into playing spells. I see your game. This is 2 coins as well. I don't want that. I don't really want any of these using the Amulet of Domination either. I do want to keep the Raging Walking around. Is there a lethal that I'm missing? Just like bananas, attack face for maximum of 6 damage. No. Yeah, I think this one is just pretty straightforward. Hope they don't have Maelstrom Portal or Lightning Strike. Like you need coins as well. Alright. Double banana is 4 damage. 4 damage on top of 10, 14, 17, 18, 19. No.
I have an axe to grind.
Battle commencing.
I think next turn is going to be the turn, though. I'm quite hoping he plays something ridiculous here. Not as in ridiculously powerful, but whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain +1/+1. That's not even ridiculous. Like, that is an uncollectible card, I believe. Because it hasn't got a rarity and it's not in the original basic set. But that's not that good at all. There was a... Long ago, it was a 2 mana, 2/3. Gain +1 attack if your opponent casts a spell. It was a Trog, right? It was like a mini Trog. It was okay, I guess. Like, it wasn't that good.
I have an axe to grind. want me killed?
Whichever of those attacks one of these second is going to lose. Trogzor the Exterminator. The Earthinator. Exterminator. Reference. Alright, what are we on now? That should be lethal, right? 8 plus 5 is 13 plus bananas. I don't really want Trogzor in my deck either. It doesn't really fit the archetype I'm going for, so it kind of just dilutes my deck. I'll go for it. You can have all the power you'd like. Take it straight to the graveyard. Even after making my opponent draw cards there, I was still deeper in my deck. Defeat 10? Don't mind if I do. Lich King, Direhorn, and Fierce Monkey. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted 3 straight up taunts, including a taunt on the higher end. Candlebeard. After you play a minion, give it charge. How bad for me is it that all minions have charge? I mean, if I have taunt, it means that my face is kind of protected, I guess. It really depends. If he plays like a bunch of small poisonous minions, it could suck. Otherwise, probably be okay.
Oh, flick me, Rex.
That. Take me out to dinner first, buddy. Fireplume Heart. I will start off with Fireplume Heart here because now I have 11 taunt cards in my deck. It's reasonable to expect that I will be able to complete it.
What you got there?
That sucks. That's a really good card to give charge to. Might have to King Defender it if I don't draw a taunt here. Oh fuck! I need to King's Defender that. I guess I'm gonna be King's Defendering both of them. Obviously I'll go with the one that gives the coin because I haven't got a minion on board to lose. That's a lot of charge. Look at that. Look at that, damn. You're poisonous now. I mean, they're both poisonous, so now I want to kill the Vicious Fledgling. Charge! Poison Spit. Okay. And then it's time for another King Defender. I'd really like if I could draw some of the million taunt minions I put in my deck, please, video game. Damn it, I really wish that went face. That doesn't really count. Fuck you! I can't remove that!
Pick a card. Any card.
Uh-huh. Whenever this minion attacks, which sucks because the enemy's probably just gonna play a bunch of cards next round and then attack. So I have to do that and then finish that. And guess what? I just get to sacrifice a Dread Corsair to the might of this twisted Worgen. God damn it.
What lurks in the depths?
As it turns out, most anything I played there would have been sacrificed, so I guess I'm okay with it. Hey there, litchi boy, flying on the field so fancy free. Anti-magic shield's pretty good. That's a good card. That's a good card. Well, I mean, it has charge, so I do have the ability to Amulet of Domination and then attack, which I think I have to do. Ugh. Because if I don't do that, I probably just lose, but oh, that freaking sucks. I didn't want to put that in my deck. That was dumb. Didn't get really punished. Stop it! All of the rest of my cards are taunts. What the fuck? I'm liable to kill. This is a horrible draw. Yeah, I'm fucking deceased. I need like a sludge belcher right now. It's not a sludge belcher, is it? Even if I give this the magic shell, it doesn't kill the sea giant. Alright, bear with me. I think since my opponent is going to play a taunt minion next turn, a charge minion next turn, right? If I anti-magic shell and hero power, or even if I just hero power, right? The sea giant goes in and then I have 6 HP, Toshly runs into my face, and then any minion will kill me. I think the only way that I can now win is to brawl and win the 33. This was a ridiculously bad draw. And I lost. I drew all of my spells! And none of my minions! Boss has defeated his warrior 6.
Hoisted by your own petard.
Hoist you. Charge minions. Oh, I'm so sad. I swear I had minions in that deck. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that wasn't. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so more than half of my deck was minions. It just happened that I only drew the half that wasn't. So that was fun. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Hearthstone, specifically the dungeon run mode that has been included in the Kobolds and Catacombs update. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There is a playlist in my description down below with all of my content on Hearthstone, Arena, Adventures, Ranked, and I imagine now I'm going to also be including dungeon runs. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself, and hopefully we will see you next time.